The anonymous person in mind was that I did the videos for originally. Yeah, it was for Ivy. I was trying to respect her decision of not revealing her name, but it didn't work out. So she agreed. So she asked me to just go ahead and let y'all know about that. But anyway, Ivy is not a troll. She is real. She is true, and she is my sweetheart. We are going to be together in the near future, and we are going to have sex. We're going to lose our virginities to each other, and it's going to be awesome. And just so you know, the previous video was also dedicated to a little girl who accidentally found the ED page. Her name was Shane Chong. That's it. That's it. Ivy is real. We are going to be together forever. I can feel the cosmos.
So the Ivy saga produced some of the most creepy and like unhinged stuff Chris has ever done, until now, of course, because we know what he's in jail for. But back in the day, this was the cream of the crop when it came to creepiness from Chris. Even though many people tried to make Chris see that Ivy was actually a troll, he never really bit on that. Around this time, Chris's pastoral counselor, Rocky Shoemaker, was going nuts and waging her own war against the trolls. Pulled the Chandlers into the police station, wanted to get Ivy investigated, wanted to get that dude Joshua Martinez investigated, and that's what really was the whole downfall of the relationship. Now, the downfall probably would have came another way once Chris realized Ivy was a troll or she revealed herself to be a troll, but it got pretty far. The relationship got pretty far in the works, even to the point where the Chandlers were planning a trip up to Boston to visit Ivy. I don't know how that would have went. Like, would they have all gotten to like her house and it was just a bunch of crackheads or something? Would they have been tricked in a big trolling scheme, or would she have just ghosted them and been like, haha? I always wonder how that trip to Boston would have worked had it played out. But that's all in the later parts of the Ivy saga. What I want to look at in this video is just the sheer creepiness of things Chris did during the saga that really, it was yet to be topped for quite a while, because this is right after what we just covered with the Pickle Man and all that. So by this time, Chris was really looking for a sweetheart. He had been on the love quest for years, and he really thought that Ivy was the one. So in my eyes, I kind of think that Chris was really willing to do a lot more for Ivy, because he really saw her as like his one and only, his true love. But the things he was willing to do were pretty fucking out there, and they're not really things that you'd think a woman would be attracted to, but in Chris's mind, this was some good shit. So today we're going to look back into the days of old and see how Chris was around this time, this 2009 time period, and just see the lengths to which he would go to try to win over Ivy, try to really win her love, even though he already assumed he had it, but to try to show her that he was a real man. So let's just jump into the first one, the one that most people know about, and it's this really, that just, it doesn't, no words really do it justice, just how unsettling this video is.
Hey Ivy, I'm doing this video for you. Oh, we are going to have so much fun together when you and I are together. My mommy and I, my family and I will come and meet you at the airport, and your choice, so take you to your hotel or bring you back to my house.
So look, I know on his mind, like, he thinks like a child. His entire outlook on relationships is one that, like, maybe a teenager would have if they were, like, talking to a girl long distance over the internet. Like, he thinks, all right, well, she'll be really turned on if me, my mom, and my dad pick her up from the airport, and we just take her back to my house. Maybe we all go out and have dinner together, and we're just sitting there all watching TV, getting to know each other, and then we just go up to my room and fuck. Like that's not how. Like, I don't really get what type of thing he was thinking here, like why he thought this woman would be so attracted to that. I mean, he probably gave this idea to her, and like in texts or wherever, she was like, wow, that sounds awesome, Chris, like that really turns me on. But it just goes to show just how brain dead he is when it comes to these things, No woman's gonna be like, damn, like I want to go into that room of yours with all that clutter that probably smells like shit and just get it on the second I meet you, even though your parents are just downstairs and we're both in our late 20s. Like, what? Well, I don't know. Like, it's just one of those wacky things that Chris assumes is gonna work. But it's like, yeah, it'll work in your head when you're thinking about it, probably getting turned on by the idea of, oh man, this is going to work. I can't wait to get her here. But when it comes time for it, it's just going to be really awkward. Maybe not for Chris, but obviously if the girl was really there, she'd be awkward to the fuck out. Now, the other thing I have to bring up here is it's really simple, but it's just, again, Chris's like mindset of not really, I don't think he thinks of these things, but just get a hotel. Like, just get a fucking hotel. Like, when he says my mom and dad will pick you up, obviously this is because Bob and Barb are still skeptical of anyone Chris talks to, and they have to meet them first before Chris does. Obviously, the right answer here would be, I'll pick you up from the airport, I'll take you to your hotel that I'm paying for, like, the hotel that I get for you to stay here, which I'll be staying at too while you're here in town, and then we'll do our shit there, But to Chris, that idea never really crossed his head, You can hear him saying this video that maybe we'll take you back to your hotel, like, that's just a really weird, like, for someone you're flying in to be like your significant other and all that, get a hotel for y'all two, keep your parents out of the equation. But I know for Chris that never worked. But for real, it's not like it would be a problem anyway. Chris bought new video games and shit all the time. Like, set your money aside for like 2 or 3 video games you were going to pay $60 for, get $180 right there. You can probably get a decent room at the Marriott on like a Tuesday.
I mean, we'd be hanging around so much and sharing so many fondful memories. And, I know a few good places in Charlottesville, I'll take you there. We'll get some good things to eat, and we'll hang out. We'll have so much fun. Well, let's have a good time together. I know a place that serves some great smoothies. Yeah, it's a cafe in Charlottesville. Good place. Serve good smoothies.
Alright, I think I've already come to the conclusion that this whole video is just probably going to be me making fun of and ripping on Chris here. But it's just like, dude, this is like, any woman who watches this just has to, like her walls have to be closing shut right now. Like, this is mortifying. Chills got to go down your spine. Like, when I met Miss Smokey, if I went up to him and was like, yeah, if you want to come to my house, yeah, my mommy and daddy would love to meet you, and then we can go up to my room and have so much fun together. She would have fucking maced me. Like, that's not how you talk to a woman. That's how you, like, not these type of words, but, like, he sounds like he's talking to a little kid, like, oh, we're gonna have so much fun together, like, you're a babysitter or some shit. But no, he's trying to talk to the woman he's trying to fuck. Like, what are you doing? Also, as you'll come to learn very, very soon, no one should ever go get smoothies with Chris, because, he likes to put another product in his drinks that have, somewhat of a smoothie-like texture. Not really, but, like, just, you never want to get drinks with Chris, because his little added ingredient that he likes to put in his is something that no man, woman who ever walked the earth would like to think about.
And, we can enjoy a movie in the theater or at home, or watch a television rerun. Family Guy! Family Guy! Or I Love Lucy, or I got the entire series of Gilligan's Island. And we can make some music together on Guitar Heroes. You can sing. I got a microphone. I'm thinking about getting drums.
I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but he clearly has no idea, like, what women like. It's like, yeah, you can come back to my house, we can go to a movie or something. It's like, there you go, Chris, there you go, you're on the right path. It's like, or we can just sit at my house and watch Family Guy, because that's the only show he really, he relates with. It's the only one he likes, because he only likes the ones, and he's even said it, he only even likes the Family Guy episodes that are all funny, the ones that are more serious, the more serious episodes of, like, South Park or Family Guy, he doesn't like those ones because he doesn't understand it. But then he jumps into fucking I Love Lucy and Gilligan's Island, thinking like he's going to impress this 20-year-old woman in 2009 whenever this was recorded. Like, dude, you're trying to hit on a woman in her mid-20s, not a woman who's pushing 80, all right? Like, she's not going to sit down next to you and go, oh, can you put in the Andy Griffith Show next? You want to watch some Little House on the Prairie? It's not He thinks, oh, my parents like this, so she'll fucking love this. Which is kind of a grim thought considering the woman he chose to be with at the end of the day before he got put in jail. Because, that's kind of what Chris likes too. Chris has a lot of things in common with the older folks. But then he goes on to talk about, and this one always struck me, because he talks about how, oh, we can make some music on Guitar Hero. Oh, you can sing on the microphone, because the microphone is the one that nobody wants to do. When you're at a party with your friends back in the day, I remember having, it was my 11th birthday party. There were all my friends from school over to my house and all that, and we were all playing Rock Band 2, because my parents had just got me Rock Band 2. I had the drums, I had 2 guitars. Well, I had 1 guitar, and then I held my old guitar from Guitar Hero 3, so that one still kind of worked, because if you had it on the Wii, you could just plop a Wii remote in there and bang, you were good to go. Now, weirdly enough, that's the only time I had more than 4 people together all playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band, but nobody wanted to sing, because nobody ever wants to be the singer. You either want to play the guitar or play the drums, because anyone can sing at any time, but those machines were really cool back in the day, and it just shows how little Chris is willing to budge when it comes to his video games. It's like, no, I get the guitar, I get the fun part, you get to sing and all this shit. So even when it's coming to a girl that he's trying to get in there with, he's not budging on nothing. You ain't touching my Guitar Hero guitar, These decals and these sonotubes are on here for a reason. This is my guitar. You can have that microphone and sing Pat Benatar or whatever the fuck while I jam out.
Yeah. And I look forward to the eventuality of you and me having our sex time together.
It's 1 minute into the video, and he's already mentioning this. He can't be helped.
I'll do my best to pleasure you and keep you satisfied. Miss Biz Ivy, just for you. Just for you.
It's so funny when you remember this is all coming from a virgin. It's he the way he stops himself and goes, "Oh, I'll do you and I'll do my best to keep you because he knows that I'll do my best. I can't promise you nothing here. I'll do my best." Although Chris is still pretty confident in his abilities because he really thinks that all the videos he's watched over the years, the countless hours of internet filth that he's watched. He's convinced now that he's up there with the greats. In his mind, he's convinced himself that he's the male Lisa Ann. He knows what he's doing, and Ivy's about to find out firsthand.
I know a number of good positions and massages. And I know a number of places we could walk around at. We can walk about the malls. We could walk about the UVA grounds, good places where there's plenty of green and sunlight.
It's such a weird transition there. I know a bunch of good positions and a bunch of good massages. Weirdly enough, I'm pretty sure that's the massage that he claimed that Barbara enjoyed many times, which is just so weird when you think of how things are now. But then he jumps into, he knows a bunch of good massages, knows a bunch of good positions. I also know good places we can walk and get stuff to eat, like the UVA grounds or the fucking college. I don't think he says it in this video, but his real, Chris's whole thing always was when he finds a woman, the first date will be somewhere small, like McDonald's or Arby's. So that's probably what he's just trying to allude to. Yeah, well, for our first date, I'll go out and get you a smoothie, and then you can just go back to your hotel and make whatever the fuck you want for dinner.
And we can walk the hermit crabs together. Talking about some how you might walk your hermit crabs. Wonderful memories. So wonderful memories. We're gonna have lots of fun. I'll do my best. I'll do my best to keep you entertained, show you a good time when we're having a good time. And I promise I'll remain your good boy forever and for always. And my friends I've been talking to between on the internet and real life, my real friends, they can vouch for me on how good of a boy I have been. Being the good boy just for you, Ivy. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Dude, I gotta apologize to all the ladies in the audience for the soaking wet chair under you right now because of these smooth words from Chris. This is so weird, dude. He's making all these noises like he's constipated. I don't know what he's like. I don't know. I don't know. I've always said it. You can't make sense of the things Chris does. So there's no point in sitting here going like, why? Why is he doing this? Because you know in his mind, like he was like hook, line, and sinker. I got her with this one. Like she is gonna love this. And if you don't believe that I've been a good boy, go ask all these guys on the internet who are probably trolls how much of a good boy I'm being. You know, you go ask them, hey, is Chris being a good boy? All of them would be like, he's gay. He's gay. Don't trust that man. Don't give him nothing. Like I don't know what he thought would happen, because obviously Chris never once had like a real genuine friend on the internet. Everyone he ever associated with was a troll. I mean, there were definitely some white knights around this time too, but they were much more few and far between. The ones nowadays, you can find tons of people on Twitter, these weirdos who genuinely, like, really supported Chris and tried to, like, shove away all hate before he went into jail and everything like that. But just, you know, definitely around this time period. Anyone who Chris was in contact with about, like, a friend group that was discussing Ivy, a friend group that was discussing the Pickle Man, every one of those people were motherfucking trolls.
Look at me smile. It's a nice smile. 'Cause I love you, Ivy.
The rapiest smile I've ever seen.
I love you so much. I ran out of details. I don't know, I guess I'll sing you a song. It's a jolly holiday with Ivy. Ivy makes my heart so light.
So light!
When the skies are gray and ordinary, Ivy makes the sun shine bright.
Shine bright!
Oh, happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dove. When Ivy holds my hand, I feel so grand. My heart starts beating like a big brass band. It's a jolly holiday with Ivy. No wonder that it's Ivy that I love. You know something else? I should have,
That part always gets me. Just breaks out into song and then afterwards looks at the camera with like 1,000-mile stare. It's like, oh yeah, and another thing. In fact, just not regarding that you just sang an old show tune for Ivy. You know, this goes back to the fact with the I Love Lucy shit like that. Like, that's probably how Bob, or no, I'm sorry, didn't Barb court Bob? Like, she was the one who talked to him. Is that how she got his attention? She walked up, it's a jolly holiday with Robert. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, that's how Chris is going to keep her entertained, with that random access humor of his, just randomly breaking into song and dance every once in a while. This wouldn't be the only time Chris did a song and dance number for Ivy. I'm pretty sure he did the I Need a Hero thing, and then he did that other one where it's that song, there are days when the sun was so cruel. I have a terrible woman voice, but that's the one. That, you know, it's what I'm talking about. Like, he did all these things for Ivy, and it was all for naught at the end of the day, because as you know, and as everyone else already knows, she was, in fact, yes, a troll.
you know something else? I should have thought of doing this before. You know, could put a more positive highlight for anybody who does background information. I should recreate something for MySpace or Facebook with all the positive highlights and all the true details that would not be somehow twisted in any erroneous way. I'll work on that. I will work on that. Because it's the honest truth from my head. From my head.
Yeah, this was around the time when a bunch of people were getting in Chris's ear saying, you know, Ivy's a troll, and Chris is like, fuck you, she's not a troll, like, I know better, I know what a woman's voice sounds like, you guys are crazy, and, you know, so what he's saying here is, well, let me go on my MySpace or my Facebook and really set the record straight, let the trolls know from the mouth of the guy that they never believe, and they already know who's full of shit, and they already know all the plans going on, let me tell all these people that I know what's real, and she is 100% legit, and nothing you trolls can say otherwise will convince me of that. It's just a constant cycle Chris was in. It's like, you know, constantly be proven right. The trolls are constantly proven right every time when they tell him, hey, these people are trolls, and he never believes it, but this time it's going to be different. Now, granted, Ivy was one of the first few trolls, so by this point, you know, he's probably still in that really delusional state, but by, like, the 14th or 15th one, like, it took Chris years to learn this. He should have learned it a lot sooner, but once again, it's Chris. It's not like he learns really anything anyway. He's very, it's not really possible for the guy.
I love you so much, Ivy. I love you. I love you. Talk to you later, sweetheart. And also to your authority policeman, I salute him with my Cub Scout salute that I have favored for so long.
So, like, you can see there just the horrible communication he has when talking to someone who he thinks is his girlfriend or something. Like, you know, if you're a woman and you're genuinely into a guy talking to you like that, you know, more power to you and the guy too. You know, if you think, damn, like, I wish I was around there in 2009 and I could have had Chris Sweet talking to me like that. You know, maybe that's your thing. But it's, to any normal person, that shit's gonna make you want to file a restraining order. It's just so weird. Every time I go back and watch that, I'm so cringed out because I just can't believe anyone ever thought that was a good idea. But, you know, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. You know, maybe Chris, in this whole situation, him and Ivy, everything that went on, maybe it was just normal love between two people. And, you know, and one thing that normal lovers usually do is Ivy asked Chris to taste his own Navy. Oh, God, this is so gross. She asked Chris to taste his own stuff and see if it had the same taste of the foods that he ate. I guess God, this is so gross. The background of this discussion would be, oh, well, I'd eventually be, oh, God, this is so weird. Ivy would eventually be partaking in chowing down on some of this stuff. So if Chris could do it first and let her know what it tastes like, that'd be great. And Chris, misunderstanding the directive, decided, I'll pour some in a cup of Fanta. Like, no, stop. Like, I shouldn't even keep this in the video because I just want people. Stop, dude. Ew, that fucking picture, man. It literally, I feel like I'm gonna yak. Like, I'm not even, like, I think this is after a shower, and his hair looks like he hasn't even, like his hair looks like greasy enough to the point where he hasn't showered for at least 2 weeks. That cup, dude, like, that's so fucking gross. And the fact that, like, the Ivy saga is what spawned this, but spawned the thing that, like, as I genuinely think the cup of Fanta is as synonymous with Chris's Sonichu is at this point, but just the fact that he did this so willingly just shows how desperate he was to really find true love, because, he was really willing to do whatever this girl asked him to fucking do. It kind of is the same thing with every woman in Chris, but just goddamn, dude. Goddamn.
Hi, Ivy. I love you. I can't stop thinking about you.
Why are there so many of these videos of him acting creepy with Ivy, Like, dude, every like, sweetheart saga, Chris acted really weird, and he always showed that he never had any type of, like, grasp on how you actually talk to a woman. But in this particular saga, it just is the worst of him doing this, man. Like, every video is just off the walls, with tons of creepy shit. Some people might say, oh, it's cute to see a guy so in love with a girl that he'd act like this, act so, like, nervous and hard to talk to her and just, oh, so lovey-dovey and shit. But, that's cute and all when it's like a 7-year-old who has his first crush, but not when it's 20-something-year-old Chris, the real thing he wants to talk about at all times is just what they're gonna do in the bedroom. But he has to add all these other things just so he can not sound as creepy. Because even though Chris is doing this and probably doesn't know how creepy it sounds, I think there is a part of him that is why in that video we just watched, he brought up, how much fun we're gonna have together, and, oh, I know all these positions. And he kind of looks at the paper and kind of snaps himself back. Oh, but let me go back to talking about real things, because if I talk just about this, she's going to think that's all I care about. I do think that Chris is very, very empty-headed, obviously, but I do think there's a little bit of self-awareness in there when it comes to that type of stuff. A little bit. I'm talking about a sprinkling of it, enough to make him realize, wait, let me stop for a second. But at the end of the day, it's not enough to keep him from making these fucking weird videos, so, I guess it never really counted.
Anyway, for qualifications, I could say, good morning, wish you a happy day, or I should go off to sleep, I could say, good night, I'll be in your dreams, I love you.
He blows kisses like I smoke cigs.
Ivy, Ivy, love you, Ivy, Ivy, Ivy. At least you're not the poisonous kind. Seriously, though, I love you, Ivy. I believe you all around. Keep a happy thought.
And believe her all around he did, because Chris here, you know, for a while, he really believed every word Ivy said. He had no types of, I think in the back of his mind, he thought there was an idea that maybe she was a troll, but he had to keep it up front because he really wanted a girlfriend. He wasn't letting anything stop him. No negative thoughts on that front. She's real. And as I already brought up, it got so real that the Chandlers had planned to have a trip to Boston to go visit Ivy, because that's where she was from. Now, as I pointed out, there was probably a massive trolling scheme in the works there, but it never turned out because Rocky Shoemaker, Chris's pastoral counselor, she was not having nothing with the trolls, because the Chandler family wanted to investigate Joshua Martinez, the kid Chris went to school with. He had been taking Chris out and kind of making Chris pay for his meals. This was around the time all the Vanessa Hudgens shit was going on, and I can't find the video right now, but Chris cheated on Ivy in his mind with Vanessa Hudgens, because Joshua Martinez would text Chris and be like, hey, I got Vanessa Hudgens right here with me, you want to talk to her? And Chris eventually sexted with her, and he got that video where he's like, I know I told you I was screaming Vanessa, Vanessa, Vanessa on those texts, but really I was screaming Ivy's name. Like, shut up, stop. Like, you cheated on your girlfriend with a fictitious Vanessa Hudgens, and it's just another one of those wacky Chris stories that deserves a video all to itself. But yeah, they wanted to take in Joshua Martinez because he'd been going out to meals with Chris and making Chris pay. In Gino's doc, there's a part in it that I think everyone kind of looked at and just went, oh, that's too far, where there were days where Chris wouldn't have any money and the dude would just sit there, order for himself, and eat in front of Chris. Where, like, even if you don't like Chris, that's a shitty thing to do. But it's there was so much going on around this time, and so they were looking at Joshua Martinez. They wanted to file a police report, and Rocky was like, no, I want to look into Ivy too. And when Ivy heard about this, she cut all ties with Chris. She said, no, I don't want anything to do with you guys anymore. I'm scared now. And Chris called her for days on end. And I mean like nonstop. Apparently like all day, all night, constant calls, call after call. As soon as the voicemail came up, Chris would call again. It got so bad that Ivy and even like the cops involved had to be like, yo, yeah, like, cut it out. Like, just stop talking to her. Like, you can't keep doing this. And that was the end of Ivy there. Now, in the years afterwards, Chris realized that Ivy was a troll, but it took him quite a while because, he was heartbroken at the time. He really thought everything kind of shattered. But it would only take a month or two before another sweetheart would fall into the mix, and Chris basically just forgot about Ivy. Kind of shows that all these women he would sit there and cry about and talk about how much he loved them and all this was really just, any woman that came his way that he thought was like suitable enough and was worthy enough to be with him. Well, now I'm just going to be all obsessed with you until you're my sweetheart, and if you're not, I'll act sad for a couple days and then just move on to the next one I find worthy of me. So it was another sweetheart saga, but a really wild one at that, and one where you learned a lot about Chris, because he was convinced his love quest was finally over, but as we came to find out, it would be years until that love quest was over, and the real end of the flagpole, Mario jumps on the flagpole. At the top of Chris's flagpole was Barb. And then as soon as he grabbed that flag and ran right into that building happened to be a prison, and that's where he resides to this day. Now, that's the end of today's video, my friends, but before I end it, I want to give a special shout out, and I'll be shouting you out again in a couple moments, but Cyrax's stylist left a video on the Cyrax video we did yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But in the comments section, Cyrax's stylist gave me the idea to do this video, and I hadn't even thought about this, but as soon as he said it, I was like, I know what I'm doing tonight now. Like, I'm gonna make this fucking video. So, brother, thank you so much for this idea, because it was a definitely uncomfortable ride, but it was something I had a lot of fun making. I always have fun making these fucking videos, and I especially love it when I know y'all are gonna have a fun time too. Sometimes when I say the things I say in these videos, I tell myself, it's not that funny, but you guys always prove me wrong. You're in the comments, you tell me you love the shit, so I hope you guys love this one too, that we got so much more stuff coming. I already told y'all we're planning on a few more locales, and that's still in the works, but this was like just something I was like, I can get this out tomorrow, like let's do this, this will be funny. And I hope you guys enjoyed it, because like I said, I definitely enjoyed making it. And with all that being said, I want to give shouts out to Vanessa, Cody Hale, Club Doom, Scaly Schisms, Echo Spectre, Kaitan, Fiendland's Party Place, Churlish, Pythia, Your Mom, Mick Surly, Adrian Lara, Sky Fitzpatrick, Alright Stingy, Isaiah, Akiba's Beat Fan, Blake Austin, G-Man, Gypsy Pauls, Trademark, Cyrax's Stylist, Vaga, Commander Louie, Krabby, Justin S., The Ghostbusters Fan, Steve from Machete Squad, Chef Meme Maker, Italian Boy Advance, East, Chris Chan's Fanta Bottle, Music Biz Marty's Bong, Kaitan, Pebra, SK Rux, Synthesist, and good old Bullet BP. You guys are all goats. And all of y'all that made to the end of this video, you guys are goats as well. I hope you guys are going to have a good rest of your week. It's already Wednesday, like I said, Friday, fastly approaching, just getting here before you know it. I'm kind of hyped because tomorrow's my Friday. I got off on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, and I'm picking up a PS5 tomorrow. I'd really been holding off on picking up a PS5 because I was like, I don't really know what I want to play on this. I keep looking at it, I'm like, Spider-Man looks fun. Everyone raves about that new God of War. But then I was like, you know what? The Final Fantasy VII Remake, I've been wanting to play that. The Shadow of the Colossus remake, I've been wanting to play that because I never had a PS4. What other games are coming to my mind here? The Ratchet and Clank game, I can go back and apparently play Jak and Daxter on the PlayStation Plus mode. Tons of games I never even really thought of until I was like, damn, you know, I kind of want to play that. I heard that game Horizon's pretty sick. Final Fantasy XIV, I never had to play that, but I'm pretty sure you can play it on there. Maybe not, maybe that's only PS4, but nonetheless, just a lot of fun things here. So I'm going to make an account, and if any of y'all want to add me, that'll be the move. I haven't decided what the name will be yet. Most likely just Smokey McCrack, but I'll let y'all know that most likely in the Discord. And also, we got the Discord open. If any of y'all want to join that, we got channels for Chris, we got channels for Cyrax, we got channels for all the locales we talk about. Plus, we got channels for almost every single topic. You like talking about sports, you like talking about food, you like talking about video games, no matter what it is. We got stuff there for y'all. So until the next one, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and I hope y'all stay safe, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And until then, I'll just be chilling here smoking. I hope y'all are doing the same. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.